Welcome everybody. This is Ginell Cooper and I am here today to teach you how to do a very easy, fast summer top. Basically what we're making is one panel in a very light yarn. I chose to use a DK size 3, I believe it is. The yarn that I'm choosing to use is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK, but you can use probably any DK weight yarn to do it, just so that what we're going to do is we're going to twist it and we don't want it to be too bulky, and because it's a summer top we also don't want it to be too sweaty. So this would also be really great in a really light cotton. Basically all we're going to do is we're going to make 2 panels. I've already made the first one, and the panel is going to be, for me, I've chosen to do 22 by 18 inches, but you can measure your body and decide how, so 18 is how far down you want it to hang. Mine hangs just down to about just past my waistline, and 22 goes just over the shoulder on both sides across. But you can choose to have it wider if you want it to go over your arms, or you can choose to have it skinnier. I wouldn't go much skinnier because if you twist this, it's actually going to tighten the sweater around your body. So kind of keep that in mind. The second panel, what we're going to do is we're going to twist it this way. And then we're going to connect it to the top of the other panel, and we're going to connect it on the sides. And then what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with a top that you can either wear the twist in the front, or you can wear the twist in the back if you want to. Definitely, because it is so see-through, I'll be wearing it with a, I'm 53 years old. I'm not going to be wearing that with a bathing suit top probably. I mean, you could, they'd be super cute with like a bikini top or something, but I'm probably going to wear like a tank top underneath it, just so it has that kind of layered look. But I think it'll be really cute to have this. I kind of plan on wearing it in the back, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks. So anyway, it's going to be super fast and super easy. So really all I'm going to teach you right now is how to start. This is a 2-row repeat. So we're going to start this with a foundation single crochet on the bottom. Then we're going to do this row, and then we're going to do this row, and that's it. Then you just repeat it until it is as high as you want it to go. And then we'll do the final row together, which will be basically the same thing as, we're going to do a chain and then a single crochet at the top. It's going to be super, super easy and super fun. And because you are basically just stacking these diamonds on top of each other, you don't even really have to stitch mark it or anything. It's going to be that fun. So I'm going to show you how to do this stitch. I do not know what it's called. I'm calling it the diamond lace stitch. But if you know a different name for it, I'm all ears, but I just figured that looks like a diamond and it looks very lacy, so we're just gonna call it that. A couple things you might need: measuring tape, of course, right? Stitch markers, of course. It actually called for a size 4.5 millimeter hook, and I'm going to break my own rules, and I'm going to do a different. Usually I always go by whatever size they say to use, but I'm actually going to use a smaller one because I tried the bigger one and it was just a little bit too, how do I say this, too big. It was too loopy, and I wanted the diamonds to be a little tighter. So I am going to do with a size F hook, which is a 3. Mine is a 3 3/4 millimeter. Everybody's F hooks are a little bit different. Some of them are 3.5. Doesn't really matter. So just a smaller one. I went just a couple sizes down from what they asked for. So that's pretty much all you need. I have everything in my cute little Dollar Tree tubs that we ordered off the website. So, and I'll have a link to those if you want to. It's nice to just keep all of your project together in one container. So I'll have a link to those in the description if you are looking for that. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is the pattern that I found on Pinterest, and the graph is what I'm going off of here. So I will probably put a link to this if I can. Sometimes these are hard to link to in the description, but if you like, just kind of take a little pause on that pattern right there. If you know how to read these graphs, it's actually really, really simple, but I am going to work through it for you. So they actually did it in 6 repeat of 6 chains on the bottom. I did that at first and it was too loopy for me, so I decided to go with 5 chains. So we're going to do multiples of 5, but we're going to do, instead of doing chains, we're going to do a foundation single crochet, just because I liked the base of it when it was a little bit thicker. And the other thing too, when you do foundation single crochet, is it gives you closer measurement to what you're looking for. If you've never done a foundation single crochet, I have multiple videos on it because it is tricky at first, but it's actually my go-to. I prefer to do foundation rows instead of chains. I personally have a pet peeve about trying to crochet into chains. So what you want to do is you just want to do a slip knot, and then you want to chain up 2. This is a smaller yarn that I usually work on camera, so it might be a little harder to see. But you're gonna take your hook and go through that first chain so that you have 1 piece of yarn on that side and 2 on that side. Yarn over and pull up a loop. That is the chain. So you're basically gonna be working chains and single crochets at the same time. And it's going to eventually look like this. It'll be chains, and like as if you went chain, 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 and then single crochet, but we're working them at the same time and we're going this way. So then we'll turn it when we're ready. So we did our chain, or we pulled up a loop. We're gonna do our chain first, 1, and then yarn over, single crochet. So then go back into this loop that you just made, that chain right there, right through the center of it, so that you have 2 pieces of yarn on one side, 1 on the other. And then you're gonna, or 2 pieces of yarn on the top, 1 on the bottom, I guess is what I should say. And then yarn over, pull through the loop, chain 1. Okay, so see how we've got 2 chains there now. And then yarn over and go through both of those, that's your single crochet. So if you look at this a little closely, you've got a chain there and a single crochet on top, and a chain there and a single crochet on top. And you're gonna do that for however many stitches you want. I'm gonna do it for 90. Just like that. If it's easier, when I first started doing foundation stitches of any kind, I would actually put my finger on that chain right there so that I remembered where the hook goes next, because I think that's the thing that always gets people, is where do you put the hook. But once you start going, it's very easy to see where the chains are. It's just that row right there. So you know when you want to put your hook in, you're going to put it in right in that chain right there. Chain, single crochet. Okay, do that till you get to the end of the row. It's gonna look a little weird and pointy on the end. Don't worry about it. That's gonna fix itself when we turn and go the other way. Okay guys, I'm back. So I finished my 95 stitches across, and you can very clearly see that the chain is right there. And it's a little harder to see the single crochet, but it is right there. So you can see the tops of the single crochet pretty easily. So, so we've completed basically 2 rows at the same time, but step 1 is done. Okay, so phase 2 is this, or step 2. One thing you want to make sure of is this kind of wants to twist. For some reason, when you finish that final single crochet, it brings it to a point which makes you think that the single crochets go on top, but they're not. The single crochets are on top, but the chain is on right there on the bottom. So it's going to be a little bit funky at first, but I'm going to want you to chain up 3. Turn your work. Make sure you're on the right side. So like this chain right here, that's the bottom. And then you're going to, that chain 3 counts as a double crochet in that first stitch right there. So you're going to double crochet into the next stitch. Like that. So you already got like your 2 little double crochets right there. Okay, next you're gonna skip 3. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really you're gonna skip, it's every 5 stitches. So you're gonna skip 2 and go to the 3rd stitch right there. So you're gonna do a double crochet, 2 double crochets into the same stitch. 1 and 2. And then you're gonna chain 2. And you're going to do 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. Okay, just like that. So now you're gonna skip 5, or you're gonna go into the 5th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double crochet. And it's kind of a long double crochet for sure. 2 of them. And then 2 chains. And then 2 double crochets, all in the same stitch. Okay, just like that. So you're gonna do that all the way across. That's the lower half of the diamond. When we finish this row, we're gonna turn it, we're gonna come back on the top part, and we're gonna do the upper half of the diamond. And then we're just gonna repeat those 2 rows over and over and over. So keep going until you get to the end. So I actually had to go back because this is what happens when I start something and then set it down and then don't come back for a day or 2. I was only supposed to do 90 chains, or 90 of the single crochet, the foundation single crochets, because there are 17 diamonds on here, and there's 80 spaces, including that one. So so anyway, I went back and took off 5 and then redid the bottom row. So it doesn't really matter as long as it measures out to what you want it to measure to, but for me, I'm working on my second panel, so I want the second panel to match the first panel, so that's why I did that. So otherwise I would have just left it probably. But so we're down to the last 5 stitches. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna skip 2, and we're gonna do, 1, 2, 3, we're gonna skip 3, and we're gonna do a single crochet, or sorry, a double crochet into the second to the last stitch, and a double crochet into the last stitch. And that's how we're gonna finish the row. Okay, so now we've finished part 1 and part 2. Now we're gonna do part 3. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna chain up 3, just like we did before. 1, 2, 3. That counts as the double crochet right below it. And then we're going to double crochet into the top of the double crochet that's right below on the lower row. Okay, so from now on, there's not a lot of counting going on. Now you're gonna chain 2. 1, 2. And then you're gonna go, there's gonna be 3 double crochets in the middle of this V, but there's gonna be a chain between each one. So you're gonna go double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay, so that's the top of the V. It doesn't look like a diamond yet, but it will. It looks funky on the ends because the ends are just straight across instead of being pulled down. But that's just the way the pattern works. So then you're gonna go, now in order to pull the diamond down, you're gonna aim for this space. There's 2 V's here. There's a V right there and a V right there. You're gonna do the space in between. So you're gonna go chain 2, and then you're gonna single crochet right into that space. And then chain 2, and then double crochet in the middle of that V, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, so that's the top of that V, or the top of that diamond. Then you're gonna go chain 2, reach down to between those 2 V's and single crochet in that space. And then all you have to do is repeat that across until you get to the other end. And like we did before, when you get to the other end, you're gonna do 2 lines on the ends. So it'll be 2 double crochets. So just remember, it's chain 2, double crochet, and double crochet. Okay, I'll show you the end of this one, and then I'm just gonna let you go until you get to the how long you want it to be. And for me, that is 18 full diamonds, so that's 36 rows. You can make yours as long or as short as you want. Mine's a little bit longer probably. Just remember, if you're gonna twist it, you probably want it to be a little bit longer. If you're not gonna twist it though, you could definitely crop this if you wanted to and make it shorter. So it's totally whatever you decide. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this row. I'll meet you right here, and then I'm gonna just let you go for the length that you want. Here is the end of the row. You can see those diamonds starting to form, but they're not gonna be perfect diamonds until we do the next row, and it pulls that up a little bit more, and then it's gonna look a little bit more like a diamond. So I'm gonna show you the placement of that V up there, but first I'm gonna show you how to finish this. So we did our 2 chains at the end of this. We're just going to do a double crochet in the top of this double crochet. That's right below it. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the top of this chain 3 right here. Okay, just like that. See how it forms like a little border right there? And then we're going to chain 3. Turn it. You're going to double crochet into the top of the double crochet, so you're always going to have those 2 double crochets right there on the end. See that little border? And then what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to making the base of that diamond, but it was the double V basically, but you're going to do it right into the very top of the middle of those little, what would you call that? That little fan right there. So you're going to do right there in the middle double crochet, you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets right in the top of that part, or the middle of that part, just like that. And then you're going to skip across and do it again in the next one. So right in the middle, go find the center double crochet, and then you're going to do double, double, chain 2, double, and then double. And that's it. So you just keep doing that. So this is a repeat of this row, and then the next row will be a repeat of the other one. And then even though it's actually 2 sets of V's that you're doing, or 2 fans, they end up looking like a diamond because of the way this is pulled down on the edges. So hopefully you can see that. Maybe you can see it better on this one. Yep, so see, once you do multiples of it, it starts to look like a little diamond right there. But really, it's 2 V's stacked on top of each other with some chains in there. So that's what we're hoping for. So go ahead and keep doing that. Just repeat those 2 rows until you get to the length that you want it to be, and then I'll show you how to finish it. And then you're gonna make 2 panels exactly the same, and then we'll go to the next step, which is putting it together, which shouldn't take very long at all. So quick one today. Okay guys, here we go. So I've almost finished the second panel. All I have left to do is this top edge right here that I did on this first one. I did end up going into the second skein. So each of these skeins is about 478 yards. I would say, I mean, definitely you need to buy 2 skeins, or if you're doing a different yarn, probably like 700 yards. We're basically going to replicate what we did at the beginning. So we are going to, so we're going to chain up 2, or 3 actually, 2, 3, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to do a double crochet into that, just like we did before, so you kind of keep that framework going. And then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to put a single crochet in the middle of the, see how you see those 3 double crochets right there? We're going to grab the middle one, or we're going to do a single crochet in the top of that middle one right there. Then you're going to chain 5 or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to jump over here and and you can do 5 if you want it to be a little bit looser. Let's do 5. I think below we did less than that, but it was kind of stretched out because we were doing the foundation single crochet. So go ahead and go to the top of that one and do a single crochet, and you're going to do that all the way till you get to the other side. Then we're going to turn around and we'll do 1 more row on top of this, and it's going to be single crochets, and then we'll be done with the panels. Okay, so last one is single crochet, chain 2, just like we did on the other side, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the top of this. And then a double crochet in the top of that. And then we're going to chain 1, turn it, and we're just gonna single crochet all the way across. So in doing this though, remember that down here, you'll have to kind of see how it looks, but down here we only had 4 single crochets in between each shell. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 shell. So this, I mean, I chained 5 on these just because I felt like it just fit better. So as you're putting your single crochets in here, you can like skip the last one if you want, if it looks like it's just getting a little bit too bunchy up there. That is completely up to you. Or if you like it to be kind of scalloped, you can definitely do that too. Normally I would say go under the chain, but actually I kind of want those single crochets to just stay where they're supposed to be, and I want it to match the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the chain. It's like my least favorite thing to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I think it looks better. And then go into the single crochet and then each one of these chains all the way across. And remember, if it looks like it's too bunchy, it's not matching the other side, then you can just on the last chain just like skip it. So I just did 3, 4, oh, it actually just, it's fine, works out just fine. And then 1 in the top of the single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. I must be missing the first chain when I do it, but that's okay. We're just gonna, it'll match the bottom then. Single crochet. It's probably this chain that I'm not doing. A little tiny little knot looking guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go, yeah, 5. So if you want to only do 4, you can easily skip that little knot guy at the beginning, and you'll only have 4. And it won't even take away much from the spacing. Okay, do that all the way across, and then we're going to weave our ends in, and then I'm going to pin it the way I want it, and I'm going to try it on and see how I prefer it. I'm probably going to do the twisted look for the video, but I'm also going to do it so that you can wear it both ways, so that you can turn it around and have the twist in the back, or you can have it in the front if you want. Okay, that final single crochet is in the top of that chain 3 right there, just like that, and then you're going to chain 1 to lock it. And then we're going to go ahead, I think I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends on here, just because this is so lacy. If you're not used to it, it might be a little bit challenging. Let's give it a shot here. This one should be pretty easy because there's just a row of single crochets right there that you can hide your stitch in, but the one where I changed stitches or changed skeins might be a little bit more difficult. So I'm just going to go back through these single crochets. They're kind of tiny, so if I can get my needle in there, I'm going to go through like 4 or 5, maybe 6 of them, and then this is the back and forth method. I use it all the time. It is, if you use the back and forth method, it will not come undone. In fact, if you need to take it apart for some reason, it's going to be very difficult. I say that, now watch, I'll need to take it apart. And you just go right, so you grab, when you grab a piece in here that isn't part of this, to just kind of stop it from going back out, and then you go right back the way you came. And then this little piece stops this piece of yarn from going right back out. And the back and forth method makes it so it doesn't push that piece out. So you don't have any like little frayed edges coming out or anything. Doesn't come apart on you. It's really nice. It's my favorite method. Okay, so let's try this one. It's like right in the middle. I don't like knots, so I try to stay away from them as much as possible. I would rather just weave in my ends than tie knots. But that is a personal preference, and you guys can do whatever you feel most comfortable with. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit more challenging. So what I'm gonna do, I always try to hide it in these single crochets because they take up so much space, or in these single crochets. You can actually do both, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through this one single crochet right here, and then just through a couple pieces down here so that I can jump down to these single crochets down here and go through all 4 of those. Then I'm gonna grab any random piece to just stop it from going back, and then I'm gonna go right back through the way I came. Don't pull too tight. Go right back up here. Let's see, how did I do that? Go through there. That's probably good enough. Just like that. And then do that with the other piece, and any other missing or like loose pieces that you have, just go ahead and sew them all in, and then I'm gonna pin this together and show you what it looks like on. Okay guys, so I tried it on. I don't think it's ready for prime time yet, but I learned a few things. So first of all, I tried it just square without the twist, and I definitely like the twist better, but I do think for me, I'm probably gonna put the twist in the back instead of the front. Well, we'll see. I also think that it'll be easier to imagine what I'm gonna do with it if I sew up the sides first, because when you put it together with the pins, it's all gappy and it's hard to kind of see. So I did make some decisions about how far in I want to sew it, but we're gonna do that first. And then I think I'm gonna make a little change, because it's really cute, but it's like not quite there. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you how to sew up the edges. I decided to go in about 4 diamonds, and this is totally, you definitely want to put it on your body and see how it works on your body, but I'm gonna go in about 4 diamonds on each side, and I'm gonna go up about 11 diamonds on the side edge here to leave the hole for your arm. And we're gonna do that on both sides. I forgot that I was planning, this is what happens when you do like days in between filming. I forgot that I was planning to leave a long tail so that I could sew. So I only have 1 long tail to work with, but it's enough for me to show you how to do this stitch real quick. This is just the mattress stitch. It's very, very, very easy and pretty easy to hide too. I might also reserve the right, we'll see, but I might also add a little something around the arms to just kind of finish the arms. We'll see how it looks when we put it on, but it's always a journey. At least with me, it is. So grab your edge, and twisting it was super easy. You just twisted it and put the, the top, the edge that would be on the bottom up to the top. Pretty easy here. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna take this and we're gonna go through both of the top loops on that single crochet right there, and both of the top loops on that single crochet. And all you wanna do, because remember now you might have done like 5 stitches on one side and 4 stitches on the other side. So just make sure that your diamonds line up with each other. So the top of this diamond and the top of that diamond line up. I think where the twist is, you'll probably be lining it up with the bottom of the diamond. So that's, just keep that in mind. But so you're gonna go through both of those to get started. Then from now on, we're gonna go back and forth, almost like lacing up a shoe. You're gonna go from the middle out like that, under both of those loops there. And then you're gonna turn around and do it on the other side from the middle out. And you're just gonna go in as far as, you know what, I'm probably gonna like pull it tight after each diamond so that we know they line up. So we're gonna go here, don't pull it tight, just kind of leave it loose, and we'll pull it when we get to the end of each diamond. Okay, so those 2 diamonds line up with each other. So that's the top of that diamond, this is the top of that diamond, so we're gonna do this stitch over here. And then we're gonna go top of the diamond and top of the diamond on the other side. And see how that just kind of laces back and forth? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of pull it so that that string just sort of disappears. You don't wanna pull it too tight because you don't want it to like pull in on the edge. You just wanna pull it so that the string kind of buries itself in there. And then it just sort of becomes this invisible seam. Do that all up to where you want your neck to be. And for me, I decided I wanted to do it up about 4 diamonds because I want the neck to hang just a little bit. I don't want it to be too tight. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of space there. Maybe I'll do 3. No, I'm gonna do 4. I decided 4. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going till I get to the end of 4 on both sides, and then we're gonna do the same exact thing coming up the edge. Just line it up, the edge of this one to the edge of this, and then go up as much as you want. I think I chose 11 on mine. And then we'll try it on, and then I'll show you what I have in mind to possibly make it just slightly, I don't know, just a little bit more cute. Okay, I take back what I said before. Now that I have the shoulders, a seam on the shoulders it's not all gappy and weird. I tried it on again, and I actually do like the crisscross in the front or the back, either way. But I think instead of going up 11, I'm only gonna go up 9. So 9 diamonds up. And that's definitely something that you need to put on your own body. So when you try this on, this part right here, the twisty part, is gonna pull in the middle. And then this part is going to come across to the center like that. So it's actually really flattering because it's kind of tight around your waist. Unless you made it wider, and it'll hang this way either way. It'll either just be tight or like a little bit bigger on you, however you chose to do it. So when I put it on and I counted, I kind of marked where I wanted the armhole to be, and it ended up to be about 9 stitches up. So just to make sure, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew it up that high, and I'm gonna try it on again before I weave my ends in. Because like I said, once you weave those ends in, it's kind of hard to take them apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up 9 diamonds on this side and try that on and see if I like it. Okay guys, so here it is so far. I do like the twist. I do like it in the front. I also like it in the back, so I'll show you how that looks too. This is what the back looks like, but you can turn it around so it's straight in the front and twisted in the back. But my son said to me, and I think I agree, what I don't like about it is it's a little bit too vesty looking. So I do like the armholes a little more open like that, but it just kind of looks like a vest. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add sleeves, just to like right about there, some big open kind of just airy sleeves that are out of the same pattern. And then we'll see how that looks, and we'll see if we like that, because it's a journey, right? So let's keep going. Okay guys, so here are the changes that I made. I decided instead of doing just 9 diamonds up, I went back to 11, which was my original plan, because this sleeve was too floppy. There was too much of it. So then I just went around and I added the exact same stitch, and I just added a sleeve on going this direction, and I just went in the round. So I'm gonna show you really quick how to do that, and then we finished it with the same edge. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. I like the way it looks. The only other thing besides that I think we're gonna wanna do is I think we're going to want to make like just a little stitch to kind of find the middle spot on both of these, and then make a little stitch to hold it together so it doesn't kind of go all over the place in the back there. It just kind of keeps things sort of where they're supposed to be. So we'll figure that out. That'll be the last thing we do. So I'll show you really quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch this back up to 11 diamonds so that it matches the other side. And then I'll show you how to do the sleeve on there. And then all we have left to do is weave in our ends and do that little stitch in the middle, and then we're done, 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 done. It's actually really cute. I went back to liking the crisscross in the back. So it totally depends on what you like on your own body. But I think it just depends on the outfit, to be honest. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this stitched up to about like 2 more diamonds. So like there, and then we will do the sleeve part on there. Okay guys, so I finished all the other stuff, weaving in my ends and stuff, and so all that's left is the sleeve. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you really quickly how I laid it out. Once you have it laid out, it's just as easy as the other ones. It's just a matter of getting the spacing right on here. So our 2 little edge pieces that we had that kind of came together here, we're gonna take it down to, instead of 4 that are right next to each other, we're gonna take it down to 2. So right here at the very top, I'm gonna go ahead on the left-hand side. So there's like where you would put like 2 lines of double crochet right there. I'm gonna do, right here on the left-hand side, I'm gonna do a chain 2. So I'm just gonna pull in the yarn and chain up 2. Okay. So now I'm gonna go right into that first fan. Now we're coming at this from the side, so it's a little bit harder to see. So all I did was I picked which one I'm gonna do it on, and it really doesn't matter, I don't think, which one you do it on, but I chose to do it on the one that's at the base of the diamond. So this is like the base, this is the top section of the diamond. It's hard to see because they're spread out on the edge there, but that's what it would look like. So I'm gonna do this one, which is the shorter. If you can see these, just to make it easier to find, you can see that there's a chain 2 right there, but there's a shorter piece right there, just a chain 1. I'm gonna do that one. So we're gonna skip and we're just gonna go right into this, and we're gonna start the bottom of our diamond right there. And then chain 2, just like we did before. Okay, so that's the bottom of our diamond. So now we're gonna jump over the long one, which is that chain 2, and we're gonna go straight to the chain 1 right here, to that little single crochet that's right above it. Or you can go just in that hole right there. And you're gonna go, yeah, so you're gonna double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. And just keep doing that all the way around. If the spacing doesn't turn out right when you get to the others, it happened to turn out right for me, so it should be fine for you because they are matched up against each other. But if it didn't turn out right, then just like, you know, we can figure that out at the other side. You just kind of fudge it at the end there. It's in the armpit, so no one's really gonna see it anyway. So we're gonna jump over that long one again and go right into the single crochet that's above the short one. For me, you can choose to do it the other way if that way works better for you. And then I am gonna do that all the way around, and I'll meet you on the other side to finish this row and show you how to transition into the second row. Oh, I picked a weird spot to do that. Let's try that again. Okay, so the sleeves go pretty fast because they're pretty easy. You don't have to count stitches or anything. You pretty much are just following the pattern. So meet me on the others. We're gonna go all the way around. Meet me over here. The only thing that's kind of funny is when you get up to the top here, just the way it lays out, I ended up doing it like right here. We're like, this is a long piece, that's a long piece. This center, this big center glob right here would be where the fan goes. So, or where the edge of the fan goes. So that's where I would choose to do it. I think I ended up doing it on the side. It just kind of worked out better that way. So just keep that in mind when you get up there, but you can space it however looks best for you. And I will meet you on the other side and we'll do row 2. Okay, we've come all the way around. This is the seam on the left-hand side. We're gonna create that other double crochet right there, right next to it for that, basically that border. We didn't do it on the top because I just didn't feel like it was, I felt like it looked better to have the scallop there instead. But down here, let's just continue this line. So I'm gonna do a single or a double crochet right next to in kind of the stitch right next to it, which is like right around there. So then we're going to slip stitch into the other double crochet right next to it there. And we're just gonna keep that as sort of that framework that we had before. Okay, so now, from now on, we're just gonna follow the same pattern we did before. This part, because it's kind of, you're not like going from one double crochet to the other, when you chain up, you may only really wanna chain up 3 instead of chaining up and then doing 2 extra chains to go across. Again, this is the armpit, it doesn't have to, and you kind of wanna cinch it in a little bit up here because it is a little bit floppy, so you don't want it to be too crazy. So here we go. We're gonna do our regular double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all right in the center of that V, just like we did before. And then chain 2, go down between those 2 V's, do a single crochet, chain 2, and then do the 3 double crochets in that V with chain 1 between them. Okay, so continue doing that all the way around and you will finish that section, that diamond. And then we're just gonna repeat that until we get the sleeve as long as you want it. I chose to go 1, 2, 3, 4 diamonds out, which is about 8 rows. And then we did our top part there. So you can choose to make it as long or as short as you want. I was a little bit afraid I was gonna run out of yarn. So I thought that would, and I'm still kind of fantasizing about maybe doing fringe on the bottom. I don't know, we'll try it on, we'll see. But I kind of wanted to leave enough yarn to do that just in case I wanna do it. So I have this much yarn left, which is, you know, quite a bit. So we should be able to do the sleeve and still have plenty left over if we want to do anything funky on the bottom. Okay guys, I finished it. I absolutely love it. I tried it on. I love it both directions, and it just kind of depends on which jeans I'm wearing or what I'm wearing with it. The only thing we have left to decide now, well, first of all, we just need to attach this. I decided no tassels needed. It's perfect. It's just perfect the way it is. I'm very happy with how it turned out. So all I need to decide now is how am I going to attach this? You could do something super simple. I think the attachment is very important. So all I did was I went through and I counted halfway through this row. There's 14 diamonds altogether from this connection to the bottom connection. There's 14 diamonds. So I counted 7 diamonds and I marked it, and I did that on the other side too. There's a little bit of stuff going on here. There's like 3 diamonds right there. So I did 4 from the bottom, and not the bottom, but like this seam right here. I did 4 from the bottom on both sides, and then I marked it right there. Grab one of these spare pieces of string from when I was sewing up the sides. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the back and forth method of weaving it in to start, and then make my knot, and then finish it with back and forth weaving in. That's a really big scissor for such a small piece of yarn. Okay, so I am gonna do that again on this lower one down here, the same exact thing that I did up there. And then I'm gonna try it on and do some pictures for you guys, and I will have the pictures / video at the end screen so you can see it. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I did. I love just going for it, just deciding what you want to do and going for it. This actually doesn't look that much like the original picture. I mean, it has the basic concept, but we added the sleeves on there. And I mean, the sleeves just make it. My son was right. It just didn't look right without sleeves on it. So I'm so glad that we added those, and I can't wait to show you the finished product. If you want to show me pictures of your finished product, be sure to join us on Ginell's Quarantine Crochet and show me pictures there. Or if you get stuck and you have questions, that's a great place to ask questions too. Not only am I there to help you out, but lots of other people too, and they're all super helpful and kind, wonderful people. Anyway, so I hopefully I will see you on the next video. Thanks, bye. Okay guys, which is better? Do you like it straight in the front with a twist in the back? Or do you prefer straight in the back with a twist in the front? What's your favorite?